Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you a tour of our freezers. We have two upright freezers in our laundry room and the freezer underneath our French door fridge in the kitchen. I'm also going to plan our meals for the next week and a half before we head out of town to bring my second oldest son to college. Garden harvest is about to be in full swing, and I need to make room in some of our freezers for freezer cooking, which is definitely necessary when the new school year kicks off, which is much sooner than I would prefer to think about. I tend to store our garden harvest things such as ground cherries, tomatoes, peppers. I will store them in 1 or 2 gallon bags in the freezer until I have enough that makes it worth spending an entire day preserving. I really love the challenge of opening my fridge and my freezers and seeing what I can plan for the week without going to the grocery store. So you can see in this fridge, we've got some leftover taco salad from a few days ago. That will be eaten by me and some of the kids for lunches over the next couple of days. We also have some chicken salad there on the left over from Father's Day, some chicken breasts that I purchased from the store over the weekend, squash casserole in one of those foil pans, some fresh broccoli florets that can be used in a meal. And we've got 2 large zucchini in those crisper drawers that I need to shred up and put in the freezer for zucchini bread. There's also an entire rotisserie chicken behind those foil pans. We'll use that meat to make chicken enchiladas later in the week, so I need to add homemade tortillas to my to-do list. My almost 15-year-old son works for a farmer that doesn't live far from us, and yesterday his boss sent him home with 5 pounds of grass-fed, locally grown beef as a little bonus. We were super excited to get that beef. We have an entire freezer full of venison, so we haven't had ground beef in quite a while. I feel like this freezer under our fridge is often neglected. It's where I throw things like chicken carcasses, like the ones you see on the left there by the peas and carrots and mixed vegetables. I will turn that into chicken stock later this week. I'm going to use one of those bags of peas and carrots or possibly mixed vegetables to make fried rice to go with sweet and sour chicken that I will make using the chicken breast that we just saw in the fridge. We also have some freshly ground flour in a gallon bag that I will use to make sandwich bread for the rest of the week, and I'm going to move those 3 pounds of venison into the upright freezer where the rest of the venison is. In the upper tray of this freezer is our ice maker, which never keeps up with our family. So usually once or twice a week, I stop at our local gas station where there's an ice house and pick up a big 16-pound bag of ice for $2. As you can see, I am well on my way to filling our first 2-gallon bag with Roma tomatoes, as well as a gallon bag of ground cherries. I'm super excited to try a ground cherry pie filling later this summer. I desperately need some sort of adequate setup to cure my winter squash as it comes out of the garden. Right now, you can see it is sitting on the bench in our mudroom. But I definitely don't mind seeing these beautiful vegetables every time I walk in the back door. I absolutely love filling this large produce basket with vegetables from the garden almost every single evening. We've harvested about 30 pounds of potatoes so far and still have well over 3/4 of our potatoes left to harvest. Now onto our largest upright freezer. I organized this freezer using Sterilite containers just from Walmart. I did it a few years ago and it has been pretty life-changing. It really helps to keep most of the frost off of the shelves and it helps keep things organized. The 2 bins on the top shelf are strictly chicken. This bin contains some miscellaneous pork items such as kielbasa, andouille sausage made from venison, as well as hot dogs. In this bin, there's a bag with the last of our homemade bagels from a few weeks ago. I'm going to go ahead and pull those out, and the kids can have them for breakfast tomorrow. There is the Boston butt that I purchased for $1.99 a pound at Aldi last month, along with some pork tenderloins that I picked up at Sam's last month as well. I'm not going to use any of these things just yet. In these bottom 2 bins, we store about 40 to 50 pounds of butter at a time. I actually pressure canned butter for the first time about 2 months ago, and it's pretty exciting to have canned butter on the pantry shelf. I know it's a bit of a controversial canning product, but I've read plenty of Amish and Mennonite families that have done it for years, along with other homesteaders, and it's really handy to have it in the pantry. as well as freeing up some valuable freezer space. You may have noticed the dirt under my fingernails a few seconds ago. I cannot even excuse that. It is garden season and my nails are never clean, no matter how hard I scrub. The very bottom of our freezer usually consists of some miscellaneous frozen vegetables, some even from last year's garden. I believe all that's left are some sliced and diced bell peppers. I will use that frozen bag of corn to make Mexican street corn salad to go with our enchiladas. We never quite have enough broccoli florets to be steamed and served on the side of many of our meals. We will use this frozen shrimp along with some of the kielbasa to make gumbo now that we have okra coming in from the garden. I actually decided to make homemade beef stroganoff using some of the meat that Owen brought home from work. It would have been delicious over homemade egg noodles, but we had a 15-pound bag of potatoes in the pantry that needed to be used, so we cooked up half of those and served the beef stroganoff over mashed potatoes. One thing that makes meal planning extra simple is if you have 1 or 2 nights every week that typically are the same thing. For us, it's Tuesday night date nights when my husband and I go out on a date, and every other week we take one of our children with us, and the kids that stay home have grilled cheese sandwiches and chips, fruit, chopped veggies, whatever leftovers are in the fridge. That makes Tuesdays super simple. Our other predictable night of the week is Friday night pizza night. We don't always have pizza. Occasionally I will make Pioneer Woman's calzones, or this Friday I plan to make stromboli. We have ham, pepperoni, salami, home-canned banana peppers from last year's garden, and I will make the dough. I also really like having salad one night a week, and that is a main dish salad like taco salad, chicken Caesar salad, or this week we will have Big Mac salad. I seasoned the ground beef as if I were making burgers. We also use chopped pickles, shredded cheese, cherry tomatoes, some diced onion, and we make the dressing using mayonnaise, a little bit of ketchup and mustard, and a few tablespoons of pickle juice. It's delicious. Now that we have access to fresh cilantro and cherry tomatoes from the garden, I will be adding creamy coconut lentil curry to the menu this week as well. I will make homemade garlic naan to go with it, and I will serve it all over basmati rice. One huge advantage of having food storage is having the option of not going to the grocery store for a week, a couple of weeks, or even a month at a time. You can just meal plan around what you have. For example, this week we will be having oatmeal, eggs, cheese grits, and possibly pancakes or waffles for breakfast. I may also finally get around to making some pie crust for quiche. We've got lots of applesauce, so I might finally make Three Rivers Homestead's applesauce loaf. Some of my upcoming videos will include our favorite ultra cheap meals, as well as our favorite meatless meals. If you have any special requests, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I'm so grateful for all your kind words and support. Thanks for watching.